Good morning. I'm Attorney General Mike DeWine. I just finished briefing Prosecuting Attorney McGinty, Acting Cuyahoga County Sheriff Bova, Cleveland Chief of Police McGrath, and East Cleveland Chief of Police Spots on the results of our 2-month investigation into the November 29, 2012 police-involved shooting in East Cleveland. At 2:15 a.m. on November 30, 2012, the East Cleveland Police Department requested the assistance of the Ohio Attorney General's Office and our Bureau of Criminal Investigation, BCI, to process the scene of what began as a police pursuit and ended in an officer-involved shooting at Heritage Middle School. That shooting, as we know, resulted in the deaths of Timothy Russell and Melissa Williams. BCI agents responded and began immediately to process the scene. 3 days later, on December 3, 2012, the Cuyahoga County Sheriff and the East Cleveland Chief of Police requested the Ohio Attorney General's Office, BCI, to be the lead agency in the investigation of this matter. We have completed our investigation. And typically, at this point, I would turn over our report and all the information we have gathered to the county prosecuting attorney. We normally would make nothing at this point public. Normally, we would simply turn it over to the prosecuting attorney. However, there is nothing normal about this case. And Prosecutor McGinty and I both feel strongly that this information must be made available immediately to the public. Therefore, after my statement, I will answer questions. Prosecuting Attorney McGinty will also be available to answer questions, and then I will release my office's complete report of the investigation, along with the over 290 individual reports used to compile it. This is the report that will be given to the prosecuting attorney with all the reports. Let me now summarize our findings. The Attorney General's Office investigative team was comprised of 29 BCI special agents, as well as 2 East Cleveland police detectives and 4 Cuyahoga County Sheriff investigators. 9 BCI lab personnel, including forensic scientists and associated managers, 2 BCI criminal intelligence analysts, 5 BCI computer forensic specialists, and 3 BCI office support staff. In total, 48 BCI personnel worked on this investigation. The BCI crime scene unit documented and processed the scene and related vehicles for potential evidence. Over the course of our 2-month investigation, the investigative team conducted 120 interviews. And I want to say and make it very clear that every single officer who we interviewed was fully cooperative in our investigation. The interviews include officers, dispatchers, and supervisors from the Cleveland Police Department, the East Cleveland Police Department, the Ohio State Highway Patrol, the Regional Transit Authority Police Department, the Bracknell Police Department, the Cuyahoga County Sheriff's Office, and the Cuyahoga Metropolitan Housing Authority Police Department. Additionally, investigators interviewed 13 civilian witnesses. The investigation further included a review of the available automated vehicle locator data for the involved cruisers, although not all of the police vehicles were equipped with a tracking device. Radio transmission recordings were reviewed from each agency involved in the pursuit, including 4 separate channels of Cleveland Police Department radio traffic. Investigators also collected and studied video footage from approximately 53 separate surveillance traffic, and homeland security cameras along the pursuit route. The investigative team submitted 243 items of potential evidence to the BCI laboratory for firearms identification and to test for drugs, gunshot residue, fingerprints, and DNA. They obtained search warrants for and subsequently reviewed both of the decedent's cellular phone records. The investigators also reviewed the decedent's mental health records to possibly help explain some of their purported actions during the pursuit. This review showed that Melissa Williams had been diagnosed as a paranoid schizophrenic. They reviewed autopsy and EMS reports, as well as personnel reports for the 13 shooters and the 3 non-shooters. Additionally, they enlisted outside assistance from a forensic mechanic, an accident reconstructionist, and animation experts. To date, the investigation includes in excess of 290 individual reports documenting the various aspects of the investigation. The following narrative is a summary of the events of November 29, 2012, based on the information that investigators gathered and the witness accounts included in those 290-plus investigative reports. On the evening of Thursday, November 29, 2012, Cleveland Police Department Officer John Jordan was working alone in plain clothes in an unmarked police vehicle as part of the downtown service unit. Jordan's usual partner, Officer Christopher Wilson, had called off sick. As part of Jordan's normal patrol routine, he would frequent an area near the 2100 block of Lakeside Avenue that was known for drug use and trafficking, often referred to as the Wall, near the Metropolitan Ministry, a men's homeless shelter. On that night at approximately 10:26, Jordan radioed his dispatch center requesting Ohio license plate FSA 3495, which was Timothy Russell's vehicle, and requested it be run for info, stating that the vehicle was parked at East 22nd and Lakeside. Dispatch advised Jordan that it checked clean, providing the year, make, and color of the vehicle, along with the name and city of the registered owner and expiration date of the registration. In his second interview, Officer Jordan told investigators that he initiated a traffic stop of the subject vehicle on East 18th Street between Rockwell and Superior after observing a turn signal violation. He further stated his intention was to investigate the occupants of the vehicle, believing they were involved in illegal drug activity. The vehicle stopped for several seconds, during which Jordan claimed the passenger was screaming and acting unstable. Shortly after Jordan exited his vehicle, but before approaching the subject vehicle to make contact with the occupants, the vehicle accelerated away, turning right onto Superior Avenue. Though Officer Jordan pursued, he eventually lost sight of the subject vehicle on Superior Avenue. The officer did not report this to dispatch, nor did he become involved in the subsequent pursuit or shooting incident which followed. There is also no evidence that any officer involved in the subsequent pursuit or shooting was aware of Officer Jordan's prior contact that evening with the subject vehicle. Although apparently not known to the police officers in the subsequent pursuit, Timothy Russell did have a prior history of evading law enforcement, both on foot and in the vehicle. Less than 5 minutes after Jordan's brief pursuit, the subject vehicle drove past the Justice Center on the 200 block of St. Clair, traveling at a speed calculated to be approximately 66 miles per hour. Outside the municipal building at 205 West St. Clair Avenue, Officer Vasil Nan was retrieving a computer from his marked police cruiser to give to Mobile Service Unit Officer Alan Almeida. Both officers were standing outside when the subject vehicle passed. They both told investigators that just as the subject vehicle passed them, a loud bang emanated from the vehicle, which they said they believed at the time to be a gunshot directed towards them. Investigators later learned that multiple individuals, including both officers Nan and Almeida, 4 detectives from the Cleveland Police Department who were nearby, a security guard, and a parking attendant also heard the noise coming from the car and later reported to investigators their belief that the sound they heard was consistent with the sound of a gunshot. In fact, at the time of the incident, the parking attendant expressed her belief to Officer Almeida that she heard what she believed was a gunshot and that she ducked for cover and observed the 2 officers also ducking for cover.